So I'm making my pumpkin pie filling, and I've got a large glass bowl, and the first ingredient is one 15-ounce can of pure pumpkin puree. The next ingredient is a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Now I'm adding 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, 2 large eggs, as well as 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now for the spices, I'm adding 1½ teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then I'm just going to mix this together until everything is well combined and the filling is smooth. Now that our filling is done, we can pour it into our pie crust. I'm just using a 9-inch store-bought pie crust, but if you have a homemade pie crust that you love, it would work great for this recipe. And then I just put the pie on a large baking sheet, and I've cut a few strips of foil that I'm loosely covering the crust with. I don't want my crust to be burned, and so I put this on in the beginning to kind of cover it so it cooks a little slower than the rest of the pie, and then I'll take it off towards the end so the crust gets nice and golden. But you could put it on halfway through if you feel like your crust is too dark. Then you put it in the oven at 425 degrees for about 15 minutes, then reduce the oven temperature to 350 and bake for 35 to 40 more minutes until it's done. Serve with a little whipped cream and enjoy!
So first you're going to crack your eggs and put 4 of them into a bowl. Then add 1 2/3 cup of sugar. Next you're going to add 1 cup of vegetable oil. Then a smaller can of pumpkin. So this comes in 2 sizes, the big can, the smaller can. You're going to add the smaller can, which is about 15 ounces. And just put that all in with the rest of it. Then mix it really well. So then you're going to add your 2 cups of flour and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now these are your dry ingredients. You can sift them all together, but I just throw them in. And then just 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Then I have my cinnamon, so it's 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, and then just 1 teaspoon of salt. You don't have to use the whole teaspoon. I did about half a teaspoon. Then mix it really well. Then I have a 9x13 pan that I'm going to spray with cooking spray, and then just dump your batter into the pan. Then spread it around so it's pretty even, and then you're going to stick it in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. Once you're all done baking it, you're going to take the other end of a wooden spoon or a fork and poke holes in it. I like the bigger holes because then when I drizzle my caramel on top, it seeps into this cake a little bit better. Then spread the caramel around the best you can, getting it into the little holes. Now let's make the frosting. So I have a container of Cool Whip, and I use the whole entire container. Next I use cream cheese. I use not the fat-free kind because it mixes a little bit better. Then just add 2 cups of powdered sugar and mix it with your beaters. Mix it for about 2 minutes till it's nice and smooth. Then you're just going to put it on top. You want to make sure that your cake is pretty much cooled when you do this, or else it will melt down into the holes with the caramel. And then just spread it around the best that you can. Then I like to put crushed pecans on top, along with a little caramel drizzle as you're serving each individual piece.
Let's get started. The first ingredient you'll need is a spice cake mix. To that, you'll add 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree and then stir it until it's pretty much smooth. Refrigerate this mixture for about 30 minutes until it sets up a little bit and it's easier to roll. From there, spray a mini muffin tin with cooking spray or olive oil, and then take about a 1-inch ball and roll it in melted butter until your muffin tin is totally full. Bake these at 350 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. They should easily pop out of the muffin tin with a fork or a spoon.
Then we like to top them with powdered sugar. Alright you guys, thanks so much for joining us today. Now if you want to see more pumpkin recipes, make sure you comment below or comment your most favorite pumpkin recipe. Alright, we'll see you guys later. Bye!